Thank you so much for being here. I'm Roelant. I'm Cloud AI Architect by day. I am Global AI Community Board Member by night. And I'm here joined here by Simon. I'm based out of the Netherlands. Simon is from India. Simon is our Global AI Community Manager, which we really love. And this is a different story. This is not a demo. This is not a product launch. This is what is the Global AI Community. So how it all started, what we're doing on a daily basis for our chapters, how we're organized, and especially how you can be part of this as well, because we're a huge community, we're growing, and we love to have more people join us as well. But Simon, would you be able to introduce our team?
Yeah, I think that's a good slide to start with. So on our board, we have 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗁. Henk is the one who actually started the Global AI community. Roelant is going to tell in the next slides when, right? More story about that. But Henk is the one who started it. And then on the board, we also have Sammy, and we have Roelant. And then it's myself. I work as a program manager at Global AI Community. But this community is more about just these 4 people. It's about the chapter leads, speakers, community members, volunteers, and that is what exactly we're going to cover in next about 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, and Simon's going to talk more numbers later in the presentation.
Yes. Some big numbers.
So if you look back how it all started in 2017. So we're talking AI was cool, but there was no Gen AI inside. So people were learning differently. They were not organized as much as we see now. There were some meetups available. It really depended on the city and how they were organized. So some cities did a very good job, had some excellent meetups going there with excellent speakers. Others were just figuring it out and had a lot of students, which is of course great. The more students, the better. But they were not having that many events, and it was just a different time to be in. So in 2018, we started in 2017. 2018 was our first big wave of bootcamps. And we have more on the events later, and then it just grew and grew. And of course, we had COVID in between, but we still remained growing until the community that we're currently now. So it's not like a top-down brand. We're community up, so we really care about the community. We all do this on the side, extra for Simon, because he is our dedicated driving factor behind this community. But numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we had a very humble beginning, but if you visit the Global AI website now, we have over 200,000 members registered on the platform. We have around 200 chapters around the world, and from 2018, we have done more than 4,600 events, which I think is incredible. The best part about these events and this community is they are locals, right? They are local chapter leads who organize events, in their cities, right? They come together to share their experiences, and they're learning. So yeah, we are growing, right? And if you want to find any city, right? If you live in any city, you can go to globalai.community and find a city there and be a part of that chapter. Right?
Yeah, and it will also, I have more on it later, more on the process, how people can join, how people can start, and to really get going and build out this community. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, we're organized, and we firmly believe in this. This is one of the most important messages we try to get across. We firmly believe in local chapters, because these local chapters really understand their own community, because every community worldwide has different needs, are learning at a different pace, are at a different stage of adapting AI. So these local communities know if they need more training, if they need more hands-on workshops, if they need more bootcamps. So we really believe in the local character. So these local organizers are fully trusted, and I should not stand there. We fully trust them, so they have all the leeway they want and still have our support, because of course you can't run this community at scale if you do not support these local chapters, if you have not the same story you're putting across. So with all those voices, we still have the same message we try to get across. And there are so many things we do to support them, but we'll talk on that later as well.
Yeah, chapters, right? So we have mentioned about chapters a couple of times, so let's quickly look what a chapter really is about, right? So as I said moments back, chapter are locals. It means they are city-based. Now this really allows for a local community to get together, right? Share the experiences and learning, right? So I highly encourage everyone to, to go ahead on the Global AI website and find a city if it is there. If it is not, we'll tell you what you can do, right? That's number one, that all the chapters on Global AI, they're local, right? And we highly encourage that every chapter has at least 2 chapter leads, right? At least a co-organizer, because running a chapter is not easy, right? It takes a lot of work, right? You have to find a venue, look for speakers, then volunteers, and sometimes also sponsors, right? So it can be a lot of work. So that's why we encourage that every chapter has at least 2 organizers, and to make sure that the community is active, we encourage chapter leads to organize at least 1 in-person event in 3 months. There are different formats of events that chapter leads can organize. It can be virtual, hybrid, or in-person, but we highly encourage that you organize at least 1 in-person event in 3 months. And the best part is that it is open to anybody. And in fact, as we are moving more into AI, it has really lowered down the barrier to get into this development and all. If you just have a laptop or a curiosity, you can build apps. So go ahead and join the local chapters and be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, it really helps to get your rhythm going. So this is like the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
1 event every 3 months. I mean, we like this stuff. We like talking. We like learning about AI. So we highly encourage to have like a monthly meetup just to build that local community and get people together. And a big shout out to our Berlin chapter,
yes,
which is one of our best chapters. And we have 200 of them, but the Berlin chapter is one of our older chapters and is really, really doing a good job with their events. And speaking of events, we have a couple of events. So we're organized with those local chapters. So these chapters organize all these things, but there are a couple of moments each year when we all come together. And not physically, but we have like the same eventry one as these local chapters. And our agents camps, for the people who formerly maybe knew them as the Global AI Bootcamps, is kind of our flagship events. Not that big. I mean, they can take many forms and sizes, but they're usually up to like 150 people, and it's really about the hands-on learning. Really to get started, to have a couple of workshops in there, to really start building with AI, and show people what you actually can do with this AI and with these agents. And so really hands-on, and of course there's also sessions and other things going on as well. But we do this worldwide across many different countries. I think it's like 70 countries, right? That we run these events.
70, yeah.
It is amazing, and it's so good to see, because during these event periods, and it's usually like a couple of weeks, for the agents camp is a couple of months, and we have all these nice event updates and these pictures coming in, and we try to do a good job to support those agent camps. And then we also have our agent cons, and maybe you visited an agent con in a city near you, but these are our bigger events. They look like more like conferences, usually more than 150 people. And there are mini conferences up to really big conferences. So we have agent cons with up to almost 1,000 people, and maybe in India even more.
Yeah, in India even more.
Yeah, that's crazy. So those are huge events that draw in international speakers with learning about AI and learning how to do this stuff. And then we have the Global AI Nights. So this is more the general format. So we see a lot of these communities, local chapters running these Global AI Nights, which is a meetup feel. So that can take many forms and sizes, and especially when you're just getting started. I mean, everything goes, right? If you're there and you have a laptop and you maybe you all bring something to eat, or you order some pizza and you just have a good time learning from each other and building that community during those Global AI Nights. So nothing is enforced here, but we highly encourage chapters to organize at least the agents camp on, so to start there. And there are a couple of things we also support there. And in the end, it's all about the community, right? And it sounds like purely logical, and well, but it is. If you look at our community and our community structure, if people want to get started, they join one of our channels, so they go to Discord, they visit an event, and they get to talk to the chapter leads, to the people there. Maybe they find their chapter, maybe start their own chapter. So it's really about the community helping each other to grow this community further. And we offer them a lot of support. So things like things to get you started, things like templating, branding, platforms. So we have a lot of platforms. We have a newsletter we put out every week. We also have a YouTube channel, almost 50,000. So like and subscribe, no. But we have some platforms we can provide our chapters to voice their sessions, to voice their community. And of course, we talked about the events, we talked about the channels, and in the end, we provide some credibility. I mean, we've existed now for 9 years, right? So it's a community of size. So if you're just getting started, you're joining this already train that is going, that has left the station and is growing and getting bigger by the day.
All right, so there are 3 ways on how you can get involved with the global AI community. Number 1 is to find a local chapter. Right? So we have local chapters in 200 different cities across the world. So if there's one in your city, please go ahead and join it. That is one way to get involved with the global AI community. The second way is if there's any event happening, right? So as Roelant mentioned about the agent camp, you don't even have to be a chapter lead to organize an agent camp. So if you go to globalai.community/events, right, you will find many, many events happening across the world. So you can join one of those events. It can be in person, hybrid, or also virtual, and then build connections from there, and then maybe join a chapter that is near to your city. And if you do not find any chapter in your city, you could be the chapter lead, right? You can start a chapter in your city, right? You just have to fill out a form, then you get on a call with the Global AI HQ team. We love to know about who you are, what are your expectations from the chapter, and then we give you all the content. We have a very nice onboarding email through the process, and then you can start your own chapter in your city, and then start building the community in your region. So those are 3 very easy ways to get involved with the global AI community.
Yeah, and even if there's a chapter there, then reach out to the current chapter leads.
Exactly.
See if you can help out. See if you can join the existing chapter to grow and to be better there. So there are several steps to start a chapter, and it's not hard. The first one is look if there's a chapter there. So we mentioned this a couple of times. We don't want competing chapters. It does not make any sense in a region. So if there's a chapter there, again, reach out to the local organizers already there. But if there's not, then first step, join our Discord. So reach out to the chapter organizers that are there. How are you getting started? What should I do next? What should I have prepared? And then, of course, we have an onboarding process that will help you as well. So that was step 2, talk to experienced leads. Very important, Simon mentioned this, you cannot do this alone. You have to have a co-organizer. And why? Because we've seen it fail. I mean, people are very enthusiastically starting their chapter. But then, again, as Simon mentioned, it's hard work. You're going to do this frequently. You're going to do this every month. You have to find sponsors. You have to find locations. You have to find speakers. And 1 or 2 is not that hard. But if you're going to your 3rd event, your 4th event, maybe you're doing this for 3 years, maybe something happens. So you need a second organizer, or even more. I mean, there are chapters with more than 2 organizers. Yeah. Totally fine. And then if you've done all that, then submit your request. And then, well, sometimes be patient. Yeah. I mean, we have to approve it, right? We have to go through the works. We have to find out, are these people really interested in starting this chapter? What is your motivation? How can we help out? So it's really about supporting you. And if once you're approved, we send you all the materials and you're good to get started. So to get started with running your first event, maybe do something hybrid or do something virtual first, or it's up to you. Again, we highly encourage in-person events. We really believe in building communities in person and getting together there.
And so what's next? As AI is moving fast, and I said in the beginning, right, the barrier to be in the community has really come down, right? So we really need more local chapters, more leaders like you, right, who want to start a community in their region, right, and do more events that are hands-on, right? You're talking about latest updates. For instance, you're here at Microsoft Build, and let's say you were running a chapter, you would take all the learnings from here and then do an event in your city, share it with your community members, and even collaborate with the other chapter leads. What we have seen is, let's say you are organizing a virtual event in Berlin, right? And maybe you need a speaker on SharePoint. You can reach out to a chapter lead from Singapore, right, who must have done an event like a couple of months back, and the chapter lead can give you the connection for the other speakers. So we have seen many chapters working together, and that is also one way to collaborate. And as you say, you learn by doing, not just by watching, right? I know it's not easy. You have to get up, go out, give your weekends to be a part of this event, just like this one. So, and maybe find more people from the community who may be interested. If not you, if you know someone who would be interested to have a chapter in their city, just encourage them and let them know that Global AI is a platform from where they can start the chapter in their city.
And in the end, it's very rewarding. The community always gives back. So we have so many stories. Again, check them with the chapter leads. There are so many stories of the community just coming together and giving back there. And it's the last point. I mean, we need to help people, right, to find their way in AI. Things are moving so fast, and there's so many people, well, almost scared, almost like it's too much that's coming there. So as a community, we can make sense of it and can help people there as well. So our message here is, and I think this is the most important slide, right? I mean, it's about you and we're not here to get people on board and to pressure you into joining. I mean, we really firmly believe and we can add something to your AI experience by joining this community. Anything to add, Simon? Or?
No, I think we're good. We did mention about the agent camp, but I'll share quick numbers. We have done more than 100 agent camps in just about 3 months. And that's all organized by the community. We give you the speaker card, presentation, workshops, some Azure credits sometimes when we have it. So you don't start from scratch, right? If you're an organizer, or even if you're a speaker, or if you're a first-time organizer, right? We give you all the content and material that is needed to start the event in your city. And I think that's where Global AI is very different and helpful.
Definitely. Yeah, and maybe also to mention, and it's weird because we're at Microsoft Build, I mean, you don't have to be that heavily invested in Microsoft technology. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I love Microsoft technology. But if you're invested in Google, if you're doing AWS, then definitely you can join as well. The Global AI community is about being a global community for everyone, right? So it's not only about Microsoft. So find that chapter near you. Find an event you can join. Of course, you're now at Build, so maybe take it easy for this month, but find an event next month. There's always something going on. Or maybe start your own chapter. Talk to us. Come to us or just ask your questions now. And of course, also a very good point we didn't mention, bring someone. I mean, if you're had a nice work day and you know that colleague is also interested in AI, maybe bring the colleague to a nice meetup or another event. So I think that's about it, right?
I think we're missing, we can add that tomorrow we have a table talk at morning 9:30 a.m. We can also mention that.
So this is an ordinary upsell here. So we also have like a tabletop. So you can also, that is the session, you can also talk to us. But of course, we are here for these 2 days. We'll be in the expert booth, we'll be around. So you can, of course, always reach out to us. So, are there any questions? How long do we have? We still have a couple of minutes. So either maybe you have a question now or come to us after the session. But with that, I really want to thank you. Yeah. Agent Con and Agent Camp, the difference. Okay, let me go back slides. Okay. So the Agent Camp was our boot camp. So that's really hands-on to get started for people. Those are usually somewhat smaller events. I mean, it can be big, but it's usually less than 150 people. And this is our yearly event. So we run this, usually it was, in the past it was only the month of March.
Yes.
But we're now running this like
February to April,
May, yeah, so it's almost 3 months now because, of course, there's also global concerns that happen. Sometimes there's events, there's holidays that we of course have to take into account. So a month was too little. So it's now a period of 3 months that all these chapters are organizing an agent camp in some way or form. So this is, I think, the most organized event type we have for the Global AI community. And it's really about the hands-on learning. So a lot of workshops. And of course, there's also sessions, and we usually provide a keynote. So that's a pre-recorded keynote we all watch, which is always great fun to create, to have like the thread of the message going out, but it's still up to the local communities to organize those. The Agent Cons are bigger events. So those are events that we fly in international speakers. There's also a lot of hands-on learning, so we usually have 1 or 2 workshops. But it's mainly about knowledge sharing, about these cool AI topics and everything that's going on in the AI space. And again, it doesn't only have to be Microsoft. We had an agent con in Mountain View not too long ago. It was the beginning of May.
Yeah, like a month back. Yeah.
May 4th. So last month we had one here, near here in Mountain View. And it was like 400 people. And we had a couple of international speakers. We had speakers from AWS. We had speakers from Google. We had, I'm putting you on the spot now. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking out loud. The speakers are still up there. So those are the bigger events. So that is kind of the difference. In the end, it's all about AI and agents, right? So it is similar, but these are huge events. So as we said, in India, they can be more than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
What was the last attendance?
True. Yeah, I think we've had up to 800.
800.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy big. Usually they're like between 150 and 300 people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Any other questions? Else come to us after and we'll talk further. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining the session.